Perhaps you guys have seen, if you follow EA's FIFA video game, YouTubers and Twitch streamers who use it as a form of revenue, and even will do a series called a rebuild series where they take a team that maybe isn't very attractive, or even maybe just a team that is down on its luck in real life, take over them in manager mode in the game and rebuild them and fantasy book them to get them to a Champions League final or a regional final that is applicable to that team. Well, we are seeing it in real life in futsal now. Rants N Bants, a YouTuber here as well as a Twitch streamer who covers a lot of football, not only news, but also reacts to other videos that are viral and maybe to other big news going on in the world, and giving his opinion with his viewers, has taken over London Helvecia in December. And since then, he has made a massive, massive splash. London Helvecia is the franchise club in England. They have 9 league titles. They have 6 cup titles in their history. They are constantly in the running to make it into the UEFA Champions League. They always seem to take that spot for England to make it into the rounds, to qualify for the right to play in the group stage, and unfortunately have come up just short on several occasions. But everyone who follows Helvecia feels they're on that bubble to break in. Well, this season felt a little bit different as Helvecia stumbled out of the gates and has been a mid-table team to start the first half of the season. Ransom Vance jumped in. He is looking to turn things around, and he is making a massive splash along the way. Much like your favorite YouTubers that are doing a rebuild of a team, Rancis has come in. He's replaced the coach. He's brought in 8 new players, 2 of which are coming from rivals Bloomsbury, which is probably a shock to them sitting top of the table that they lost 2 key players that are now playing at their rivals across town. But there are some personal relationships there if you get into the details. And if you want to know more about the players that have joined Helvecia over the winter since Rants took over in December, I strongly recommend you go back to see our friends at the Salsa podcast. They have done a full breakdown of all the transfer news that went on over the holidays on their podcast on Spotify. I will have a link to that specific episode for you guys to review if you'd like to listen in and hear about some of the backstory on these players. They are going to make a difference. There are some big time players with some real good history and background behind them on playing not only in England, but in other parts of the continent as well, like Spain and France. So it is going to be a big splash in the second half of the season. Another interesting thing about this, what do you guys think about YouTubers and team ownership? We saw it a year and a half ago when a big YouTuber out of Indonesia took over a slot in the Indonesian league and created Pendekar United, the current home of Ricardinho. And now we see it with Rants N Bants taking over London Helvecia, a major team in the futsal scene. Do you guys see YouTubers making an impact at an ownership level in other sports as well? Or do you think this is going to be a bit of a trend potentially for YouTubers and futsal in this niche sport that we love so much? Better yet, who would you guys like to see as a celebrity or a local legend or a YouTuber get involved in the futsaling world and make a difference in your community? I would love to hear your thoughts and takes and see how some influential people like Ransom Vance can shake up the futsal world and move things in a positive manner for the teams, which in turn makes the leagues look better, which in turn brings more fans to the game. I hope you guys follow the links below. Make sure and follow Rants, as he has a behind the scenes video series that you can watch that covers the training as well as game highlights. If you are watching this with young children, I will warn you that there is a little bit of language in these videos. We are watching grown-ups at practice. We are watching a very passionate Rants watch his team and get excited. So just keep that in mind depending on who you're watching in the room. But I do strongly advocate for that series. I find it very entertaining, and I think you will too. I will also put the link, of course, like I said, to the Futsalsa podcast, and look forward to seeing you guys sound off in the comments below. Until next time, I hope you guys play with your soul.